But wait, why would you find somebody for testifying against somebody else that actually
guys, let's
abused
talk
them?
about this on. Let's just talk about this on the podcast.
Well, joke's on you. I actually already started the podcast. So, welcome to the Tripod Sports Podcast. My name is Kastle, and with me are Catman and Chappers.
Wow, that was really smart.
Yeah. We started getting into that, and I was like, "Ooh, I should push the record button."
I'm so glad you had that.
I didn't even look at that. It was
fucking foreskin to do that. That was nice.
Folks, welcome to the Tripod Sports Podcast. We're talking about the gymnast Kayla Maroney was going to be fined by the U.S. Michaela Maroney, sorry, was going to be fined by the U.S. Gymnastics Association if she spoke out against the doctor that turns out was sexually assaulting people. So, Catman, you were about to say something, and then I started the podcast.
Well, I just was going to, I mean, like, it was just bewildering how, like, systemic it was. Like, it was one of those situations. Like, he was doing it at Michigan State. He was doing it at U.S. Gymnastics stuff. Like, it's pretty fucked up stuff.
What I don't understand, like, the chairman of U.S. Gymnastics is still there.
Right.
Like, he hasn't, like, been fired yet.
Well,
and, like,
yeah,
this guy is basically as responsible as the executives at Penn State were that, like, got charged criminally.
Right.
So, like, I really hope this isn't the end of this, because, like, there's, like, yes, like, Larry Nassar was a monster.
Is that how you pronounce his name in all seriousness?
I don't fucking care.
Okay. I just didn't know. I didn't know.
But
let's call him Nasser. Fuck that guy.
I don't know, it doesn't matter. But he's been, like, I mean, he's gonna spend the rest of his life in prison, as he should. But, like, I don't think anyone had any issue with that. But, like, the part I have an issue is, you know, he was enabled by lots of people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, he was given opportunities he never should have had.
Right.
Because this went on for a long fucking time, and no one did anything about it. In fact, people did a lot to cover it up.
They worked really hard to make sure that they didn't do anything about it.
Right. So I really hope heads are going to roll on this. Like,
well, the Carollis, they already pulled. The Carolli Ranch is no longer part of U.S. Gymnastics. They are not going to go there. They were supposed to have a whole training camp next week. They're now searching for a new venue for. Because I think it's longly been suspected that the Carollis have had knowledge of this.
Who are the Carollis again?
They are Bella and whatever the wife. The wife took over for Bella Carolli. They have been around since like the 96 Olympics. They were the ones, they have a whole ranch. It's where U.S. Gymnastics does all of their training. They are the ones that pick the team. They're former Ukrainians, I think.
Oh, those people, yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as you said Ukrainian, I knew who you were talking about.
Right.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they and a handful of other people could be held criminally responsible here.
Yeah.
They should be.
Yeah, and they should be.
I agree.
So I'm wondering, I mean, I know criminal charges take a long time, but I'm wondering what's going on with, you know, some of these people are still in their positions, and I'm like, what exactly are we waiting for?
Right. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's really bad.
At best, it's pure incompetence.
Right.
At best. Absolutely.
And, like, now's the time to do it because you have time to get your shit together before the next Olympics, and you have time to actually, like, start setting precedents that are going to be followed from here on out. But, you know, not getting the people that are at the top of this is going to be, it's just one of those situations where corruption's going to probably just keep happening. Although, let's be honest, the majority of Olympic sports are super fucking corrupt as it is.
Yeah, so, I mean, not to get... I guess we can't get off topic because we haven't literally talked about anything else yet. How do we feel about taking the Olympics back to a pure amateur status? Like, let's get rid of the NBA players in the Olympics. Let's get rid of the NHL players in the Olympics.
Well, we're already doing that, and I'm probably not going to watch any hockey.
Yeah, and I feel bad about it because I don't think I'm going to watch the men's hockey, but I'll watch the women's hockey.
Like, I just don't...
Because they're pure amateur status anyways, and we watch that every fucking Winter Olympics.
Like, I just... So are we going with college players? Like, is that what we're doing? Do we even know? I don't even know what we're doing.
I literally have no clue. Do we have an entire development team that it's not playing in college, and so, that's what's going on? What the fuck's happening?
I'm looking right now.
Chappers, how do you feel about us going back to like a pure amateur status for the Olympics?
I think it's too late to put the toothpaste back in the tube.
Right. Oh man.
I mean, I get that sentiment there.
It's a bunch of AHL guys, college guys. Brian Giunta is the captain, who is obviously an NHL free agent. And then it's a bunch of guys that are playing in Europe.
Really?
Yeah. It's not great. Like, it's all... Yeah, that's all it is. I mean, a couple guys from the KHL, Swedish Hockey League, college, and then Brian Giunta, who's an NHL free agent. That sucks.
Yeah.
Like, that really sucks. It's too bad. I mean, Olympic hockey... the last time around was so awesome. I mean, it was so good.
Yeah,
man,
I mean, but how are we doing any better by allowing the European players to come in and play the hockey shit? I mean,
are they?
You just said you just said that we've got guys that are playing in Europe that are coming to play on the US.
Well, yeah, I mean, but the NHL is the body that is saying you're not allowed. I mean, I'm sure the KHL is fully in favor of its Russian athletes playing in the Olympics. I mean, most NHL Russian players have already voiced their discontent with not being able to play.
Right.
So, I don't know. You can't. It's the NHL. They're their own body. If the KHL and SHL and AHL don't want to do it, which is a little interesting that the AHL is letting players go.
Right.
Because you would think that the AHL and NHL would be pretty tied to one another, but whatever.
That's true. All right, let's move on there.
Football. Lots to talk about with football.
Yeah, let's jump right into it here. Let's just start with the Vikings game because do
we want to do that, or would you want to bookend the Vikings game?
Oh, shut the fuck up! Let's get it over with.
Oh my.
Case Keenum is our guy.
Well, they should make a shirt. That's very good. I like that one.
Oh my, Case Keenum is our guy.
Case Keenum is our guy. No, I was shocked, I think, just like everyone else, and they did everything that they could in true Vikings fashion to completely fuck that game up. Like,
yeah, I was getting so excited. Like they were
yet again,
just ready to piss it away.
Yeah, yet again in true Viking. And I even looked over at my wife and was like, "What?" I literally looked at her. I'm like, "Why do I get excited?" I was like, "Why do I think that any year is different?" Like I was getting so frustrated because, like, yes, I like pro football just generally more. Like, I root more for individual players. But yeah, I mean, I've been around for all of the Vikings stuff. I've been to Vikings games. I like the Vikings. And I very much like this team, and I love Zimmer. Like, I'm all in on Zimmer. And I just was like, why do I get excited? Like, this happens every time I start to really get invested in the Vikings. Like, I don't get it. It's so frustrating that they appear to be as good as they are and as well-rounded a team, and they fit well together, and they're just falling the fuck apart.
Yeah, I will say, we watched the first 3 quarters, and we loaded up into Megan and Tyler's car to get back to their house because we thought, all right, we can get there with like 5 minutes left.
Right.
We get back to their house and with 5 minutes left in the game, that should be good. And I had the game pull up on my phone, and then shit hit the fucking fan.
Yeah, man. Like, Drew Brees, hats off to him. Like, he once again proved, like, why he is
still
really
a quarterback.
Yeah. Like, and not only that, why he still should be considered a top 3 quarterback in the league, I think.
Well,
I mean, like...
Points adjusted for the season, though, he came out like QB 13 on the season. That's apparently the lowest he's been since his first year in New Orleans.
Well, he's a Hall of Famer. Like,
right. And he showed why. I mean, like, there was nothing that the Vikings could do to stop him. He did everything he needed to do to win that football game. Like, and it was extremely impressive. There were halftime adjustments made, you know. Like, hats off to him, and hats off to the Saints defense for, like, shutting the Vikings down the second half. Yeah. But, I mean, it was such an incredible finish, and I'm not going to sit here and say it was the best play, like, everything was... Like, no, it was. There were some fluky things about it. That's why it was so great. Like, that Saints safety... will never live that down for the rest of his entire life. Like,
yeah, that is quite possibly the worst tackling attempt, like, of all time.
And
did
he
you see
knows
the explanations that came out after that? They're like, oh, he got there a little bit too early, so he probably tried to duck down so he didn't get that pass interference call. Fuck you, take that pass interference call.
I mean, and there's so many things. And, like, for Stefan, like, I'm not a professional football player, but my first thought would have been get out of bounds. I don't care where I caught the ball. Like, I would have dived out of bounds. And I listened to an interview with Kyle Rudolph, and Kyle Rudolph said the same thing. He's like, listen, if I had been the one catching that ball, I would have jumped out of bounds. But for some reason, Stefon Diggs decided to turn around and run upfield. Like, so, yes, there were tons of stuff that happened that made it what it was. Which is why, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say it was the most technically sound play in all of football and blah, 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 blah. Like, no, it was just an incredible finish. And what people maybe outside of Minnesota or who don't, maybe outside the NFC North, I should say, don't really get is, like, there's never been a time in my life where a play like that has happened for the Vikings. It's always been against us.
Always.
So that just adds to the disbelief, I think, and, like, the shock and awe factor that everyone was going through. Like, it was so much to process because that never happens for the Vikings. And I'm done now. Sorry.
Chappers, tell us what you think.
I mean, that's about it. Like, the only thing that I guess annoys me is, like, how people, like, call it, like, an incredible play by, like, Case Keenum and Stefon Diggs. And it's like, it was a decent play, but, like, really, I mean, it was the tackling attempt.
Well, it was a Hail Mary. It was no different than a Hail Mary.
I mean, yeah, like, in a sense, but, like, I would say lesser so because, like, they were giving you that. Like, the Saints defense was giving you that completion.
Right.
No, they were giving the middle of the field, though. See, I kind of disagree there because they were playing totally towards the sidelines. So, like...
Right, and he caught the ball, like, 5 yards in bounds. If you look at the tape, he caught the ball, like, 5 yards in bounds. His momentum kind of carried him towards the sideline, but, like, if the defender was there like he was supposed to be, he wouldn't have gotten close.
Right, okay.
So, like, they were giving him, like, there was a little bit of cushion there. And the other thing that's, like, goes unrecognized is Marcus Williams diving out of, you know, missing him to the right, actually crashed into his own guy. And the other guy actually would have had a chance to tackle as well. So, like, if he just gets in front of him, there's two guys there to tackle him.
See, and I missed the other guy.
It's so funny listening to Packers because you're the second Packers fan and you both know who else I've talked to about this.
Oh yeah,
it's so funny. Yeah, like and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying you're wrong because you're right. Like you heard me say it was not a perfectly drawn up play. It was not technically sound, but it's like
there's nothing.
They scored
wrong
on that
with
play
the play
earlier in the season.
Right. It's
Same
just
play.
There's nothing wrong with the play. I mean, like, you know, they had to do something. It was probably
he gave his guy a shot. I mean, that's all you can do.
it was probably designed more as like a hook and ladder type play with a chance to like dump it off to
Spring Thielen or something.
Yeah, that's probably what it was designed to do. But like
Stephon Diggs just did what he thought he needed to do, which I think is what is right.
Yeah, you saw him pause there. Like he had no like he was shocked. Like you could tell he was like there was a moment where he's like, "Holy
fuck,
shit,
is there really no one in front of me?"
Yeah. And like, which is a totally normal reaction. I wouldn't have expected him to react any differently. And then like, he's like, "There's no one around. I'm just gonna book it to the end zone."
Yeah, I think, I agree. I think he just gave, like, I think Case Keenum gave his guy, he gave someone a shot to make a play, and that's all you can really do in that situation. And 3 times out of 10 it works out, it seems to be in the NFL. I'm making that up, but I mean roughly.
Yeah, no, this is like a 1 in 100
right
play.
And like and especially in the playoffs, especially in Minnesota, like there's so many things that like just lined up which normally don't for the Vikings, that like it's really hard for me to like I don't really care about the logistics. It's like it was such a good football game too. I mean, like both teams' strengths like really showed in various points of the game.
That was definitely the best football game we've seen.
Like first half was all Vikings defense. Just it didn't look like Drew Brees could do anything.
No, yeah, I agree.
Sendejo had that awesome pick. Everson Griffin had that batted down pass that turned into an interception. And then in the second half, you just get the juggernaut Saints offense and Michael Thomas just whipping his dick out all over Xavier Rhodes, which the Ohio State fan in me was like super proud of him because he's fucking awesome. And like if not for Sean Payton, I would actually like the Saints a little bit, but I hate that guy.
Well, I'd give Sean Payton credit because the adjustments that they made at halftime.
Right. I'm not saying he's a bad coach. I'm saying he's a horrible human being.
I don't know.
Right, but is that on Sean Payton for the halftime adjustments, or is that the offensive coordinators? Do you give it a little bit of both? What do you do?
Sean Payton is an offensive.
He calls their offense, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's an offensive guru.
So, I mean, like...
I didn't know he still calls the offense?
I don't know. I made that up.
Okay.
I mean, I think he does, but like whether he calls the plays or not, he's the architect of that offense. I mean,
right.
And like,
and I do want to not retract the statement that I just made about that was the best game we saw all playoffs, because I think the game before that, the Jags,
the Sunday games were so good.
Yeah.
Compared to the Saturday games, which were utter dog shit.
But we kind of knew that going in, though.
And, like, all right, we'll get there, but I got beef with the Atlanta-Philadelphia game, so whenever...
let's just jump right into that.
Chappers and I watched that game together, and it kind of took me until the next day to realize, like, it was a close game, but God, was it a dog shit football game.
Yeah.
It was horrible. Like... It was boring. Atlanta was playing to not do anything. Like, it seemed like all Matt Ryan could think about was getting beat in the Super Bowl the year before because he just did nothing.
They're just a group of underachievers that
like
their offense should be the best offense in football.
I mean and so I think we should give credit to Kyle Shanahan here too. Because apparently he's really fucking good at his job.
Right.
Which, it's not anything new, but I mean, I think it goes to show again this year. It's not like any of the pieces for Atlanta have changed on offense.
Yeah, but right. Matt Ryan has been a choke artist his entire career, though.
Right. But, like, even on Philadelphia's side, yes, their defense is good. Like, I'm actually really excited just in general moving forward. I think really the top three defenses, arguably top three defenses, are in the playoffs still, which I think is really exciting. So like that, you don't get to the championship games with dog shit quarterbacks if you don't have a top three defense, right? I mean, right. So that's exciting, but like God, on offense, there was nothing. Like, I feel like Chappers and I were intrigued by the game because it was close, but yet, like, I can't tell you a single thing that happened except Julio Jones missing the catch to win the game. That's all I remember.
Seeing, I mean, like, I couldn't even tell you what we were doing in Austin on Saturday, where we watched the Titans-Patriots game, and it was like, nah, whatever, and we went out and did shit afterwards, because I was like, Falcons-Eagles game, it'll be better, but who knows if it'll actually be, any that much better than the Titans-Patriots game. Right. And then that one came down to the wire, and it was like...
first.
The other way around. But it was just like, whatever. I don't know if this is going to be worth watching. Because I actually thought the Falcons were going to railroad the Eagles there.
I think a lot of people thought that, but the Falcons came out and again proved like why they blew a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl last year.
They've been pretty bad on grass, though. I mean, generally, like their teams throughout the years have just been bad on grass. Like
smoke more weed, Turtle. Seriously,
they're just like they're predicated on a lot of speed, and like when you get slowed down a little bit by the natural grass, you don't have that advantage. Like there's some holes there, but
I mean that's
is that where talented that.
Go ahead. Finish it out, Chappers.
I just generally they've been pretty bad on grass, and a lot of it is just because
they don't smoke enough weed.
Maybe that's it.
But seriously, are we getting to a point in the NFL where gamesmanship involves whether or not you play on artificial turf?
No. It's just I mean, seriously, we're playing. You get these teams that play in domes where they have favorable conditions, literally the perfect conditions. We have the best conditions in our domes in the States.
And they
see what I did there?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So.
And they build their teams around that.
But I mean, is it fair for you to think? All right.
I think more games. If you want to talk dome gamesmanship, you're talking about noise as opposed to like surface.
Well, we all know that the Falcons were pumping in noise for the last 2 or 3 years there in the Georgia Dome.
And you can't tell me that acoustics doesn't go towards that with any dome stadium.
Right.
Yeah.
Like US Bank Field is fucking US Bank Stadium's really, really fucking loud. If it was outside, I have no idea if it would be that loud.
Oh, fuck. I had a really good joke for US Bank Field when we were talking about this Vikings Saints game. That's a memory that they can put in the vault at the bank.
Yeah.
Huh?
I like that. I like it.
Yeah. All right. Good. Thank you.
And I mean, it's obviously it wouldn't be the same outside.
Catman, what are you eating?
Got the munchies over here.
I stopped. Sorry, I realized it was gonna be loud. Sorry.
Well, go ahead. I mean, if you want to open your thing. But
no, it's actually just a piece of clothing that I was opening the plastic bag on because it was sitting here, and I have ADHD, so I needed something to play with.
All right, Chappers, go on though.
Glad we're spending quality time together, ass.
We are, beehole.
All right. Yeah, and like for that reason, I've heard people go to concerts at US Bank, and the sound quality apparently is shit, which doesn't surprise me because it's awful. Designed to be echoey as fuck in there.
Right.
Which doesn't surprise me because Monster Jam sounded like it was a fucking riot of a time when I watched that on TV this weekend.
I would not people said the Metallica concert was utter dog shit because the acoustics were bad. I believe it.
I want to go to Monster Trucks.
I absolutely believe it. I'm sorry.
Which, shout out to Megan and Tyler, we sat around and watched Monster Trucks on Friday night, and that was fucking amazing.
Was that enough to get your NASCAR boner going just a little bit?
Actually, it was.
I know. I get it.
I spent a lot of time on the NASCAR subreddit.
Yep. See, that's enough to just make me start Googling NASCAR shit. That's exactly what that is.
Which we didn't even talk about before we got in the NFL stuff. Danica Patrick has GoDaddy.
GoDaddy Green. It's a little ironic, seeming as who she's confirmed that she's dating as well.
Yeah. Packers green, GoDaddy green. Not very close, but at least they're wearing green.
Which I just don't believe it. left Ricky because she wanted a family, and now she's with like the most notorious playboy ever. Which, I'm not taking anything away from Aaron Rodgers. He's the fucking man. Good for him. That's phenomenal. But I mean, I just find it a little hypocritical. I call it an over adjustment. It's almost, like, yeah,
it feels like a step back. You're dating Olivia Munn, and then you're like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna fuck Danica Patrick. Yeah, she's cool. She's made millions of dollars, but I think if I had my choice in a lineup, I'm gonna take Munn every day.
But I was even thinking more from Danica's perspective, because I thought she was like ready to settle down.
I don't know. Danica's like,
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that was my misconception.
Got a huge improvement there, though.
Yeah, no, Danica definitely does.
Ricky Stenhouse is a funny looking guy. Like, that's a huge upgrade for her. But like, Aaron Rodgers, I see that as like a lateral move. Like,
and she's
like, I think Olivia Munn's probably cuter, but like Danica does some like really crazy yoga shit too.
We have some serious discrepancies here, because to call Olivia Munn cuter than Danica Patrick to me is just downright delusional.
Yeah, in my
Olivia Munn is a fucking smoke show.
Yeah, in my book,
every
Connor,
sense
you should
of the
be
word.
smacked for that.
I mean, they both are.
Yeah, Danica is extremely attractive, but like, yeah, I guess I don't know. I disagree. Maybe I just have different I just like different things. I don't know.
I do want to say I did the dirty
work. My first Asian.
I did the dirty work, and I listened to Joe Rogan had Danica Patrick on as a guest this week, and I listened to the episode today for this specific purpose tonight. Danica talks about blacking out on wine in that podcast, and I want to be her friend. I want to drink wine with Danica Patrick because I've blacked out on wine.
Dude,
it's great.
She's just being an entrepreneur now. Like, she's got 2 more races, which realistically, she doesn't care where she finishes.
No, she's doing the Danica double, as she called it.
Yeah, and she's just gonna sell her clothing line and you know,
and her wine.
Cookbooks.
She's got her own wine now.
Jesus Christ! Is it made with brake fluid?
She's got her athleisure line that she sells to women. Here,
Warrior by Danica.
Warrior by Danica.
Yep, I know all about it. I follow her on Instagram.
And then she's got her wine, Somnium.
Her wine.
I think
that's hers?
That's hers.
The fuck is she doing making wine?
I don't know, but apparently Somnium means dream in Latin.
And she's gonna run the Indy, which is even more reason to watch the Indy this year.
Yeah, I will actually watch the Indy this year.
What do you mean? That's such a great day of racing. Chappers and I have quite the event on Memorial Day weekend. That's what it is, right?
I think it's Memorial Day weekend.
Is Chapper? Oh,
did we lose Chappers again?
He's at 623, 630, 758.
Oh no, not again.
50, 481.
455. To the listeners, we've been having some audio difficulties with Chappers. We're going to go ahead and pause here for 10 seconds. For
station sponsorship.
Station identification?
Yeah, station identification and sponsorship.
We'll be back in... You won't even notice it. It'll be a second.
Okay.
All right, so we said goodbye to Chappers for the evening.
He's passed. He's no longer with us.
He's no longer with us in this recording sense. He says, "Do the Four Loco."
I'm gonna give it a shot. It's not going to be nearly as good, but I'll give it a shot.
Are you gonna do it? You gonna talk us out on the?
Yeah, I'll talk us out. I'll think of something. We got a little bit to wrap up, so I have a little bit of time to improvise here.
All right. And I'll do my normal secondary, or not my secondary, but my backup Four Loco vocals there.
I already have something that'll make Chappers super happy, and I kind of just thought of it, so it'll be great.
Okay, good. We did not finish talking about. We're good.
We didn't talk. Titans Patriots was the Titans kind of sort of surprising a little bit in the beginning of the game, seeming like they might actually make a little noise, and then the Patriots getting every single call imaginable, bullshit call, and then the Titans just fell off. And then apparently Mike Mularkey, who was their guy, He was their guy not 3 days before. Mutually agreed to part ways, which I don't totally get.
Yeah, I don't get that one. That's the one where it's like, come on, dude. Malarkey had that offense put up 42. You can't put that all on him.
No, and you know what? Like
they were stale in the first half, though. I will admit that.
Well, yeah, and then it comes out that Mariota's got a bad calf or whatever. I get it. You're playing in Foxborough in January. It's hard. I mean, it's hard to win there. It's damn near impossible to win there, actually. But
oh, sorry, we were talking about different people. I was thinking about Todd Haley.
Oh, yeah. So that can segue us to the Steelers-Jags game, which was, like, again, that makes no sense to me. You fire Todd Haley. There was rumors a couple seasons ago that he was going to get fired because him and Ben didn't get along or whatever. And the guy puts up 45 points on the Jags, who are arguably the best defense in the NFL, and I think are going to give the Patriots a lot of grief.
Yeah, I agree there.
Like, I think Tom Brady is going to be on his ass a lot. I don't know if they're going to win, but I think he's going to be on his ass a lot.
He's hurting already.
Yeah, apparently. Like, in true Patriots fashion, we know absolutely nothing about what happened.
And I do want to give a shout-out here. Will and Tyler, I've been talking a lot of shit about your Patriots, and it's not going to stop this week. I'm so sorry about that.
No, the Patriots suck. Fuck them.
I've been on the Hall of Fame quarterback tour this entire season. I will say I've been kind of a Patriots homer this season, but I don't know if they get out of this.
Bunch of assholes.
I don't know if they get out of this weekend alive, dude.
I mean, listen, they might, but they're probably going to be worse for wear. I mean, they'll have 2 weeks to recover. Like, I legitimately think that the Jags are going to put Tom Brady on his ass, and I think that Jalen Ramsey is going to be trouble for them. And I think the big, and I can't claim credit for this analytical call because it's really courtesy of Chappers, but when you think about it, you have Tevin Smith and Miles Jack, who are 2 of the quickest and best cover linebackers in the NFL, and the Patriots live to throw the ball in the middle of the field and set picks and get guys free. Well, you can't do that when you have 2 like end-to-end cover linebackers that are super athletic. So it's going to be really interesting because you can arguably just have that whoever's on that side of the field just shadow Gronk, and who knows what's going to happen otherwise.
Right.
Because you have Bouye on one side and fucking Jalen Ramsey on the other. I don't want to throw against either of those guys.
No.
So
that's a recipe for fucking disaster.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a fun game to watch, especially as someone who really hates the Patriots. I think they match up defensively really well. And I really hope Blakey B just keeps working construction, smoking darts.
Yeah, we didn't even mention that yet. There's a video that popped up in an interview where somebody's asking Blakey B, if you weren't playing football, what would you be doing? And he stumbles for a second. He's like, working construction, ripping cigs.
Yeah.
And it was like,
he's the man. He's kind of the man.
I think Blakey B is that, he's that dude in your
He knows he's about to make a lot of money.
He has to know something.
Right.
Especially after he started off the year in the doghouse with Tom Coughlin.
Because,
right. He wasn't up to snuff. But,
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, wow.
Good for him.
That's literally all you can say is, wow. Mm-hmm. Your defense carried you thus far. You just have to show up a little bit.
Yeah, and Leonard Fournette's been running the ball very effectively. Like, they've been running, and TJ Yeldon, too. I mean, even if Fournette goes down, they've worked Yeldon into the passing game and been effective, so it'll be fun.
Yeah. Is that it? We got it?
Vikes Eagles we didn't really talk about, but I mean, that's going to be a really defensive heavy game. What quarterback can fuck up the least or actually do something, because it's really not clear what's going to happen quarterback wise, especially when you have Nick Foles and Case Keenum. Who knows? I mean, Case has shown the ability to throw the ball down the field. I think they're going to have to take some shots. Nick Foles, I have no clue. All he did last week was throw screens and check downs, so I have no idea what he's going to bring to the table.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll be phenomenal. I don't know.
I mean, you have to remember this is his 3rd or 4th week.
Yeah, I mean, and he's a backup. He's a very good backup quarterback. There's nothing wrong with that. But, and he's won him a playoff game, which is significant. But at the same time, they really, again, last week it was each team was playing not to lose the football game, so all he did was throw checkdowns and screens. That's all he did. So it was effective when it needed to be, but against a really, really, really good top-tier defense, I don't think it's going to be as successful, so he's going to have to try to stretch it down the field. Which, does Andrew Sendejo make another pick? Does Xavier Rhodes pick it off? Maybe, maybe not. And vice versa with Case Keenum, playing a very good secondary and a pass rush that's really going to give him some trouble.
Yeah.
Hashtag analysis.
I mean, that was a great analysis. I thought that was
Thank you.
the best analysis. We have the best analysis here on the Tripod Sports Podcast.
Do the best of the analyzing.
All right. Let's wrap this up. Predictions. Chappers at 93. I'm at 87. Catman, you're 86. We are literally clawing our way back into this bitch right now. We have this week the Super Bowl, and I think we agreed to a reset after that. Yes. I think we should play for the first to 100. And it's likely going to be Chappers, but...
I don't care.
Let's play first to 100. Fuck it.
Fine. That's fair.
All right, we have a majority here, so Chappers doesn't get a vote.
He won't... Yeah, he'll be thrilled about it because he's fucking winning.
Yeah.
So, Jags Pats first?
Jags Pats first. What did Chappers take?
He took the Pats.
Okay, Chappers is taking the Pats. Where'd my pen go? Give me a second. This is the bold pick of the year right here. I'm taking the Jags.
And in the sense of clawing our way back into things, I'm also taking the Jags.
Okay.
See what I did there?
I loved it.
I know.
And I'm sorry, Will and Tyler, but I just think
I feel it. Something's different. Something's different.
And there's something to be said about the fact that Tom Brady had to sit out practice.
Oh my God, he had to sit out fucking practice. Who touched Tommy B? Who did
it? He's got that hand injury.
Oh my God, that fucking hand! It's the hand of Jesus. I swear to God.
Okay,
they're gonna fucking find whoever hurt him and literally string them up.
Vikings Eagles.
God. Connor took the Vikings.
Okay. I also took the Vikings.
Yeah, I am too. There's something about it. I don't think you pull off what you did last week and then stumble to the Eagles. I think they're going to take care of business.
I think there's something to be said about Zimmer opening up that press conference with, we did a lot of bad things after this game. You know, that press conference, what was that, Monday?
Yeah. I think they're going to be ready. And, I think I don't see the defense giving up that kind of a fucking shit show again to Nick Foles. I mean, they played a phenomenal quarterback in Drew Brees, and they did that. I don't see them collapsing like that again.
No, not at all.
They haven't done that since Washington, and they got their asses kicked by Washington, and they found a way to win last week, so we'll see.
I do want to point one thing out that I just saw on Facebook. Mm-hmm. We haven't talked a lot of hockey this season.
Yeah, we haven't. We'll get there. We're still in football mode.
We are still in football mode. We've been in a lot of football mode this year.
Yeah.
But I do want to point out something. I just opened up Facebook and saw that the Devils and the Caps are playing tonight. They're playing in New Jersey.
Okay.
Touchdown Tommy Wilson just got into a fight with Brian Boyle, and I was like, great, I fucking hate Brian Boyle. And touchdown Tommy Wilson beat the shit out of him on the ice.
Good for you.
And then I went to look up. I was like, wow, when did Boyle move, to the Devils? And then I was confronted with the article that he got diagnosed with leukemia a month and a half ago.
He did. I forgot about that.
And now I'm sitting here I feel like an asshole because I'm like, yeah, Tom Wilson whooped his ass. And
if he's playing...
Yeah, if he's playing, it shouldn't be an issue, right?
Yeah, I think, and I don't know this for a fact, but I think it was whatever the very, very treatable and commonly cured type of leukemia is. And I don't remember if it's Hodgkin's or non-Hodgkin's. I can't remember.
It's Hodgkin's, because I think non-Hodgkin's is the one that people have issues with.
Yeah.
All All right, we've got our predictions down. We've got an episode
Chronic myeloid leukemia.
Okay.
Huh. Okay.
I think that's about it.
That is it.
Catman?
Oh, God. So, Philadelphia this weekend. I know you're very excited. You're hosting an NFC Championship game. That's great. But Case Keenum is coming into town. And he's bringing Stephon Diggs. And he's bringing the defense. And lots of purple for Loco! I don't have the lung capacity. That's hard.
That is really hard.
Heaven.
Yeah.
I gotta quit smoking.
Oh.